Okay, tell us a bit about yourself. What is your background? Maybe even since childhood. we know you're very young, so it's not a problem. You don't have to tell us. And how did you start in photography?
Okay. First off, I gotta say the obligatory thank you everyone for coming tonight. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see you all. I've lived in Malaysia now for more than 20 years. I have PR, and I enjoy living here. It's a great country. I've lived in a lot of other countries over the course of years. I'm not nearly as young as what Johan has been making out. But every country has got its pros and its cons, but I got to tell you that Malaysia is fantastic. First wedding shoot that I did, I turned up with radio control equipment. I turned up, so I had a 6x6 camera up on the balcony that was remote controlled. I had multiple lighting that was radio controlled. This is
your first shoot?
My first shoot.
You had a remote control?
Yes.
Because I've heard about you shooting in halls and putting light stands and flash all up.
Yes.
You actually do that?
I do that every shoot. Every shoot.
How do people react to that? When you shoot and it goes...
It doesn't. People do that when they go boom like this. When the light, when you're shooting with a flash on camera only, that's when this is the primary flash. That's what people get in the eyes. But if a flash is way up, people don't blink because it's way up. It's way out of their sight. And so the light you have on your camera is only used as still flash. And so it's sit down maybe -2 stops. So it's only just to get a little bit of a peek in the eyes. That's all you're doing with the.
How do they find you? Do they see your work first, or they hear your reputation first? How do they actually make the decision to come to ask you?
Okay. It's often reputation. There are several brands that recommend me, but there's several high-end brands that will recommend me to people, and this is hotels that. When people come to them, they know that I'm reliable, they know I do a good job, they'll refer me, that's one way. Secondly, I get friends of friends, which is that's what everyone uses, you know, everyone has friends of friends, so many of you shoot weddings and that happen to you.
When you say friends of friends, are they your existing customers or?
Yep, oftentimes it's existing customers.
So they see your work first, or they hear about your recommendation first?
Often they've seen the work, or they see the cheery white man at the wedding.
Then they look for your website, see your work, or
yep.
On Facebook, or how do they?
Okay, usually it's a website. My website gets hit a lot. It's very well traveled, much more than Facebook. Facebook works really well for some people. I see people with 6,000 or 7,000 likes of their page, and I look at the work and think, oh my, how come I don't have so many? But I don't get a lot of Facebook traction.
Okay, so after they see your website, they call you.
Yeah.
Do you meet up with them?
Of course.
So you want to meet up with all your potential customers?
Yes.
What do you think from our station, from out of town?
Skype works.
So once that is done and you meet up with them, walk us through your flow. Do you lead with the price, or what if someone comes and asks you? How do they ask you?
I can't lead with the price. If you lead with the price, then people take it that you are trying to sell them, or if they lead with the price, then you know immediately that they're very price driven.
So if I'm a potential customer, I say how much do they cost, and you tell me the price, then I ask you, can you give me a discount? How would you handle something like that?
I work in a completely different way. I ask them what their budget is.
You say, I don't know.
Then I tell them to come back once they know. You see movies, and you know how many takes it takes to get a movie to look just right. With a wedding day, you don't have that. You have to compete with relatives coming in and jostling you and bumping you and standing in your way while you're shooting. And that happens a lot with us because we stand so far back usually, and people think, well, there's no photographer, so it goes the mobile phone or the iPad. So that there are lots of challenges. It's a very challenging job, but using it as your sole income, I am not going to mention the names, but I know a lot of guys who have either gone back to the workforce, the secular workforce, and they shoot weddings only on weekends, or they're abandoning their studios. We've got 10 minutes left. We've got no time left. I've got 10 seconds left. Oh, he's got 10. Okay, they're communicating with him. But personally, I think if you want to be involved in weddings, do not, and you're really good at it, and you win awards doing it, all right? Don't think I'm going to sell up and give up my stable job and have a studio and have employees and do well. It's not that common, okay? It's not really the way I would go now. That's my word of advice. I'm not saying that because I don't want you shooting weddings. It's not, let's get rid of the competition. No, because you're shooting on the weekends, so I'm not telling you to give that up. Do what you're passionate about. But what I'm saying is, do not put yourself in a financially unstable place whereby, you know, I know photographers who are selling their services for 600 ringgit for a wedding. Honestly, this happens a lot in the Malay market. You know, at wedding fairs, I have seen very talented photographers who should be charging $7,000-8,000 selling their services for like 1,200 ringgit, 800 ringgit, because there are too many people shooting, and they need the money to pay for food. All right, that's the grim side of what we're doing today. So stick at your day job, improve yourself there, but pursue your photography. Really, really do.